Hi guys, and welcome to the end of the import data series for Excel. We've covered a lot in the last month and a half, and here in this video, I want to recap a little bit of that, but most importantly, get your feedback on what you want to see in the premium course. And don't worry, at the end, I'm going to give you two little tricks for Excel, so I'm not going to leave you hanging. You're going to get something out of this. Now, we finished, I believe it was for the last month and a half or so, about 7 or 8 videos covering how to import data into Excel, from getting CSV and text data, getting the legacy import wizard back into Excel, one of my favorite little hidden tricks, to working with data that's imported, the Power Query, gosh, I can't say that, the Power Query Editor, importing access data, basic web imports, the macro web import, where we use VBA to get a lot more data from a web page, as well as how to clean the imported data. Now, what I'm going to do is, just like with the last premium video series that we did for bulletproof forms in Excel, is to use the tutorials here to kind of create an outline for the premium course. So the past tutorials, each one's going to most likely have its own section, and within each section have a bunch of little, or sometimes even larger tutorials that explain lots of different topics so we can flesh it out and more adequately cover different possible scenarios for when you import data this way versus that way, or you want to do lots of different things. So there are a lot more tutorials that can go in the premium course. And this is your chance to tell me what tutorials you want to see in that to make sure that I cover exactly what you need. So if you want specific tutorials for the Power Query Editor to do this and that with that, or how you could clean data doing it like this or that, depending on your specific use case, go ahead and put that in the comments here, and then I can include that in the premium course. At the end of the day, I want to make it as useful as possible. And over the next couple weeks is when I'm going to be creating that premium course. And if you sign up for the weekly email from TeachExcel.com, then I'm going to keep you updated on the progress and how it's going and what tutorials and what direction that premium course is going to go. So it should be a lot of fun going forward. And also, I want to make sure that I get your feedback on the next series that you want to see. So a lot of people have been saying they want to see macro tutorials, and I think I'm going to go in that direction. But give me more specifics. Do you want to see macros that are for user forms, or going between workbooks, or beginners, or advanced, or recording macros? What would you like to see? And then I will try to narrow down the macro tutorials to better focus on what most of you want, hopefully. So the most important thing to get from this video is your feedback. Give me your feedback on what you want to see in the premium course for importing data into Excel, and your feedback on what you want to see on the series going forward that I'm going to put here on YouTube and maybe also eventually make into a premium course. I'm thinking it's macros, but it could be something else depending on all the feedback I get from you guys. Now here's what you get. Okay, so two little tricks. First of all, I want to go back to the selection pane from the last tutorial. I mentioned that you can get to it on the Home tab, and it's kind of hidden. Well, actually, let's go to the raw worksheet. You can see where it's useful. This is copy-pasted data from Wikipedia. It's from the last tutorial. Go to, I believe it's Find and Select, and you get the selection pane. So we can easily and quickly delete all of these images. These little flags here are individual images. But I always forget where this guy is. You can also do it from the page layout tab, and I forgot to tell you that. So page layout, selection pane. All right, so it's bigger. Maybe it's easier to remember, but there it is. And now let's do, I found the other week that a lot of people really don't know how to print their Excel worksheets. Once they have the data in Excel, they're like, oh, great, that looks nice. And then someone tells them to print it off, and it looks horrible. Well, next week, I'm going to give you a tutorial that shows you a bunch of little tricks to easily and quickly make your data look nice on the printed page, especially a single page. It's very important. And then after that kind of interim tutorial, or maybe 2 interim tutorials for the next 2 weeks, that's when we'll pick up the next series, actually. But now for the printing tip, let's say you have this data here. It's just a cleaned up version of the raw data over here. And you only want to print some of it. You don't want to print all of it. You just want to print these rows up here. Very easy. Just select the data that you want to print. Oh, okay, select it. What are you doing here, Excel? Select the data to print. Go to Page Layout, Print Area, Set Print Area. Now, not that much is going to change initially. It's going to pretty much look the same. But if we go to Print Preview, very easy, just File, Print. You can see up here, let's zoom in. go. Zoom in, just the data that we selected. That's all that's going to be printed. So if you have a massive worksheet, you can select only the data you want, just like that. You select the data, then go to Page Layout, Print Area, Set to Print Area. And if you want to print the whole worksheet again, just go to Clear Print Area, and we can go to File, Print. You'll see everything is back. Also, you don't just have to do it at the top. You could select any data here, this cell, whatever you want. So the Page Layout tab, very many helpful features for printing your workbook. And we're going to be doing a lot of cool things here next week. And please remember to give me your feedback, because without your feedback, I don't know what you want. So I'll see you next week.